The first card you have your past is the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, so there's some frustration around this. This is the slow card, or I usually see frustration around this because I'm Aries and I don't like slow things. But yeah, it is a bit frustrating. I'm feeling that. I think you might have been, waiting for someone to come out and say something. I don't know if this was an apology or something. I think it might have been, yeah, I'm actually seeing a situation where you might have been sidelined or ignored or something like that. And you were waiting for someone to kind of realise that this is how you're feeling or what you're going through. And you were feeling a bit ignored, actually, a bit, yeah, sidelined, ignored, all of that. And I think feeling ignored, I think it was actually a bit of a trigger for you. I'm just getting this feeling that maybe you might have been ignored in the past. I'm seeing an ex-partner who might have ignored you, I think. And maybe there was a time when you were ignored or dismissed when you were growing up at some time in your past, so in your very, very more distant past. So I think this behaviour was really, really triggering for you, and it was difficult as well for other reasons. It's a bit confusing. I'm trying to articulate this because it's a little bit complicated. I think this person you were dealing with was a bit careless, and they might have made it seem as if they didn't realise this was bothering you. And I think that was even more of a trigger for you. That was really stressful for you. I think, sometimes the communication between you and this person can take so long, not because of you, but because of them. Maybe it takes a long time for them to get back to you or finally talk to you about whatever it is. And I think when they finally do get back to you and you get to speak to them, the moment's passed, or the conversation's kind of irrelevant at that point. So, or it's made out to be like that. It's something like that. It's very frustrating. I hope that's making sense. I'm actually seeing them saying something like, oh, that was 2 weeks ago. Why are you bringing it up now? All of that kind of thing. Not in those exact words, of course, but, the reason why you're bringing things up later was because they were too slow to talk to you at the right time. So, I don't know whether they were doing this on purpose to sort of, deflect from issues that you wanted to talk about, or, maybe they were just oblivious to this whole problem. I don't think they were. They must have known. I'm sure they knew, because I think you were trying to tell them, you were trying to explain that to them. There's no way that they wouldn't have known this. But, whatever the reason was, they really should have considered how you were feeling, and they weren't doing that. I'm not saying everyone should jump to attention whenever you want to talk to them, but this was the opposite extreme of that. It's like you started off being nice. You're like, oh, can you please talk to me? I want to talk to you about this thing. When are you free to talk? And then it just went on and, oh, I'm so frustrated. You're still not saying this. You're ignoring me. I'm trying to communicate. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting around this. Now, I hate to say this, but I'm not seeing them changing. This is such a slow card. And I think if you continue on with this person, whether this is a friend or a love connection or whatever this is, I really do think this is a love connection, though. You're just going to keep on feeling frustrated with them. Very frustrated. They're not going to change. They don't like confrontation. You're not confronting them either, but they just don't like it, and they just pull away all the time. So I think you'll probably stick around with this person for a while, but then I think I actually think this will probably end eventually, sadly. But that's what I'm seeing. Because I think you can only sustain this for so long until it drives you absolutely crazy. So the next card you have your past is the Chariot. So yeah, you had things you really, really wanted to do. You didn't have time to deal with this waiting. You wanted this person to listen to you. You wanted to talk to them, and then you wanted to move on. You didn't want to keep this going on and dragging on, and they'd ignore you, and you didn't know what they were thinking or what was going on. And, you know, the reason why you were bringing things up later was because they were too slow to talk to you at the right time. So, I think if you continue on with this person, whether this is a friend or a love connection or whatever this is, it wasn't just that you'd been through that feeling in your past that was triggering you and bothering you. You didn't want to feel like that again. There was that, but also, you had this determination in you. You wanted to move forward, and you didn't want anyone to hold you back. You wanted things to flow freely, and this person was kind of keeping you feeling stuck. So, yeah, and you also didn't want this person kind of messing with your head. You wanted to be able to kind of clear your head and achieve what you wanted to achieve. And I think what I'm seeing is you had these experiences in your past of these people ignoring you, sidelining you, whatever that was, and that really made your self-esteem go right down. I'm really sorry to hear this. This is just what I'm seeing. And so what happened in the past with you was that it really stopped you from getting what you wanted. I'm actually seeing a situation where you might have missed a date, or you might have missed an important appointment or something like that. And that stopped you from actually going ahead and doing something that might have even been life-changing for you. And so now you're at this point where you're at the Chariot. You're determined to go ahead. You're determined to forget all of that and achieve something that you want to achieve. And then this person's coming in, they're ignoring you, and that's really, really triggering you all over again, if this is all resonating. So you've just realised you can't go backwards. You can't go backwards. You have to move forwards. You have to achieve what you want to achieve. But this person's stopping you, not because they're deliberately stopping you from achieving things, but they're sort of kind of messing with your head. I hope that all makes sense. I know that was very mixed up, but I'm getting a lot of different mixed up things in there. So sorry about that noise. So yeah, look, you're determined. You want to do this. You want to achieve this. You want to move forward. You don't want this person in your way anymore, driving you crazy, messing with your head, filling up your mind with stress. And so you're going forward. And if you look at him as well, he's going forward to his dream. Like you're dreaming, you're having a dream about something. You've got something you really want to achieve. It's your dream. And you're going to it, like this man who has this star on his head. So he's following his star, he's following his dream. And so I think I saw this in your last reading. There was some kind of opportunity or something like that. So this is showing me that this is what you're doing now. And I'm really glad. So again, with this Chariot, this is also showing me that eventually you are going to move away from this person if you're not doing that now. That's what I'm seeing. And of course, there's sadness around that, but there's also determination that you're not letting anyone or anything hold you back now. So it's really good to see. I'm sorry that was a bit mixed up. I was seeing a lot of different things. I was seeing things from your past, I was seeing this person, and I was seeing you moving forward. So there's a lot of stuff in there. So I'm sorry if that was a little bit mixed up. The last card you have your past is the Seven of Pentacles. So yeah, you're going to work toward this thing that you want to do, and it's going to pay off. You are determined to work hard. You have the sharp focus like the man in the Chariot. It's going to take time. This is a bit of a slow card as well, but it is going to pay off. Okay, I'll tell you something else I'm seeing in this. This might sound a little bit strange to you, but maybe this being ignored that I keep on seeing, I think you might actually start to turn this into your advantage. And I'll try and explain what I mean by that. This man's really quiet. He's just standing there quietly contemplating what he's achieved. So I think instead of using your energy to try to get people to stop ignoring you or to notice you, you might just start to think something like, well, if they're not noticing me, I can just be doing whatever I like without any interference. I won't have any eyes on me. I won't have anyone watching me. I won't have anyone telling me what to do and what not to do. I can just get on with it on my own. And, there's a lot of power in that. There's a lot of power in working behind the scenes and then suddenly coming out and saying, oh, I've done it. And then people are really surprised. The Magician does that as well. This is really, I'm seeing, this is the Seven of Pentacles, but it's really making me think of the Magician card and also the Temperance card, kind of magically getting yourself out of something where, people view it as negative or view you as negative, and you've turned that into your advantage. So, that's what you're going to do. You're going to really, really turn this into your advantage. You're going to just work behind the scenes and get whatever you want done. Really, really good. So, quieter people are dismissed a lot of the time, actually, but they're the ones you have to watch, sometimes in a bad way, sometimes in a good way, like with you. Well, I hope this is a good thing that you're doing. But yeah, this is all going to work in your favour. You're going to work behind the scenes and you're going to get this done quietly without anyone watching, which is the best way. So yeah, the first card you have here present is Judgment. Look at this. So yeah, you might not be noticed now. You might have all sorts of people ignoring you and not noticing you, which is a good thing I'm seeing now in the Seven of Pentacles. But I think you will be noticed later. You will absolutely be noticed. Look at the people at the bottom of this card. This is about you coming out of your box. So I really, really hope, I so hope this is going to resonate with you. I keep on seeing you just working quietly behind the scenes, really pushing things forward, really working hard, that this is all going to come to a point where you just, where you succeed and then you're noticed. And you'll be noticed in a big way, actually. Look at this trumpet. No one can ignore it. Everyone's going to hear this great big trumpet, or they're going to see you and they're going to stand up and they're going to take notice. That's what I'm seeing. No one is going to be able to ignore you. But I think, by the time this all happens, I actually don't think you'll care whether anyone ignores you or not. I think this process of kind of quietly working toward this thing on your own, by yourself, behind the scenes, it's going to be about working towards something, a business or whatever this is, but it's not just going to be about that. It's going to be about, it's going to be more about an inner shift. And that's the most important thing here, this inner shift. I'm seeing you really coming to a point where you're just so self-assured that you just don't care. You don't care what anyone thinks anymore. They can think good, bad, right, wrong. You just do not care, or you're going to come to a point where you just don't care. And that might sound like arrogance, actually, but it's not. That's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing confidence, and I'm seeing quiet confidence. To the point where you can just sit there, people can say whatever they like, and you're just like, well, you can say what you want, but I know what I'm doing, and I'm already successful, and I'm getting even more successful, and that's how I am. So this is a huge card. This is like a revelation. It's like the end of one phase and the start of another really big important phase for you. But what's going to bring you this revelation is a sort of an evolution, if that makes sense, a sort of a slow evolving process that you're going to work through, and that's what's going to get you to this point. So I really hope this all makes sense to you, because this is really important. This is a huge change for you, and it's a really big positive change. It sounds like it might be a little bit negative, that you're turning into this big arrogant person, you don't want to talk to anyone anymore, and you're leaving this other person, but it's not. It's very, very positive, because this is you opening up yourself to new positive things that are coming to you. This is this confidence, and this confidence is going to make you feel really, really self-assured, and anyone that comes to you in the future for a relationship or a friendship or anything else, you're going to have that confidence. You're not going to accept any less than you deserve. That's what I'm seeing there. So the next card you have here present is the Knight of Cups. So yeah, here's this knight again, and he's obviously a completely different knight to the Knight of Pentacles. He comes forward, he actually does something. The Knight of Pentacles just stands there, and he promises love. Usually he's kind of a romantic knight. He's like a knight in shining armor, or he has friendly intentions that he's bringing. He can also be a little bit unpredictable. He can change his mind easily. So I think this person in the Knight of Pentacles might start to notice at this time that you're not as, not needy. I don't want to say that you're needy, but you're not as interested in getting attention from them. Not as much as you were anyway. I think this is the start of this shift for you. You are going to be busy, so that's one reason why. But I think you're just like, well, if you're not going to take any notice of me, I'm going to do the same for you. Whatever, let's see what happens. That's the kind of attitude I'm seeing in this card. So, what I'm seeing here is when you take your attention away from them, they're suddenly going to want to give their attention to you. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm not seeing that this is a game for them. It sounds like that. But I think this is going to continue to be like this between you if you let it continue. I mean, you could get up and say, right, forget this, I'm leaving. But if you let this continue, it's going to keep on being like this. They're going to come forward and then you're going to move away and then they'll move away and then they'll come forward again. It's going to be like that, this kind of push-pull kind of thing. And again, I'm not seeing them changing. I'm not seeing them turning into this stable person, especially not with you. I'd love to be able to tell you that, they'll come back with all these apologies and ideas of a permanent relationship with you in their head, and that's what they're going to want. But, I'm just not seeing that. And, I really, really don't see them as a stable person or the right person for you. And I just have to say what I see. But, you're heading towards something better than this. You're heading towards someone who's strong in themselves. They're not going to play these games. They're not going to go backwards and forwards. They're going to want they're going to feel happy about you and what you're achieving. And they're going to be happy about your confidence. And they're going to even inspire more confidence in you. They're not going to take your confidence away from you. They're not going to trigger you. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have here present is, the Moon. So, I think this is a love connection, this person who keeps on coming in and out as the night. And this is going to be really hard, obviously, when you do actually say goodbye to them. And I think you are. I really think you are. I keep on seeing that. So it is going to be hard. I think you do have feelings for them because I can see that you've really, really tried with them. And but if you're in this kind of situation where you're kind of on the verge of leaving but you're not sure, you might give it another try, you don't know, at least try not to overanalyze what they're saying and what they're doing, if this is all resonating with you. Again, they're not reliable. And, I think sometimes you can go crazy looking for reasons of why they're saying this and why they're doing this. And, even after lots and lots of analysing, you might never find the answer. And sometimes you don't with these people. You just don't know why they're doing that. So again, if you're still in this and you're still asking why and you're still thinking about this person, I think you're either going to just have to let them go totally. I know it's hard, so it's probably going to take some time for you to do that. You're probably going to be kind of hanging around with this still a bit. But, I'm really not seeing them as a part of this new phase in your life. This is someone who ignores you. This is someone who only tries to connect with you when you're moving away. And they're from your past, they're from the old phase, they're from the old you. And I don't like telling this to people, but I really, really don't want to see you held back. And I think if you keep on hanging on with them, they're going to keep on holding you back. So let it go if this is resonating. I know this is a horrible thing. It sounds like I'm telling you to leave someone, and I don't mean to do that. Only if this is resonating with you, obviously, and only if you can understand what this is all about. I'm not just saying to anyone randomly, oh, leave the person you're with. No, I'm just going by what I'm seeing here. So the first card you have for your future is, death. Again. I keep on seeing this warning over and over again, or this thing over again, so I'm going to say this. This, obviously, this is about letting someone go, moving away from the old, into the new. You know what this is about. I don't want to repeat this again. I think deep down that you do eventually have to move on from this person. If you are at this stage where you're realizing this and you're kind of, right, I know this has to happen, try not to resist this. Just try to make a clean break if this is resonating with you. If you look at this card, there's a woman and a child in front of this horse. And they're bowing down to death. They're getting down, they're bowing down, they're ready for death. They know it's going to happen. They know it's inevitable. But if you look at this card as well, there's also a priest or a bishop here in gold. And it looks as if he's trying to reason with death or bargain with death. He's standing and saying, no, I've been a good person. I've been a priest. I've been perfect. I've been wonderful. I've done this for you. I've done that for you. Please, no. I don't want to die now. You can't bargain. You cannot bargain with death. It doesn't matter who you are. You might be a king, you might be a priest, you might be a bishop, you might be a anything, president, prime minister, anything. You cannot bargain with death. It's inevitable. No one can bargain with death. It doesn't matter who you are. So this is another reminder that if a situation is inevitable, if you know it's going to happen, if you're exhausted by this, you know you have to let go, then please just go ahead and let it happen. That's what I'm seeing. If you're waiting for this person to change, they're not going to change. You're just prolonging this. That's what I'm seeing. Again, if this all resonates with you, I'm not telling everyone to leave who they're with. I'm not. It's only if this is all resonating with you. The next card you have for your future is the Nine of Pentacles. So yeah, this is just about summing up everything I'm seeing in this reading. This woman's comfortable, she's in her beautiful garden, she has an abundance around her, she has money around her, and she looks really, really confident. So this is exactly what I was seeing in the Judgment card. So, and also she's gone through a process to get to where she is. She's worked to get herself here. Look at this falcon, this bird she's holding. Falcons are trained to fly away, collect their prey, and then they fly back again to their owners. So there's a lot of training, a lot of hard work that's going to get you to where you are. And that's going to give you this abundance. Again, it started in the Chariot. You're going to be determined. You're going to do this. And it's going to give you your quiet confidence. That's the most important thing. And that's going to happen. And look at this woman, she's by herself. And in this time, when that these cards are kind of modelled off, they weren't drawn at this time, but they're based on, you know, the early Renaissance. So at this time, it was probably quite rare to see a woman on her own, especially someone who's in this status. She's a high status woman. So very, very rare to see a woman on her own like that. Usually they're with a companion, either a mother or, you know, a friend, an older relative, or if she's married, her husband. But this is a woman who's on her own. This is a woman who's confident enough to be on her own, especially in these days, which is amazing for those days. So this is how confident you're going to be. It's like, I don't care what anyone thinks. I don't care what anyone says. I'm going to do what I want. That's the feeling I'm getting around that card. And this is how you're going to be. So this is very, very positive, very positive. So the last card you have for your future is, yes, the Nine of Swords. So yeah, I really hate saying this, and I hate this. I hate seeing this card. So yeah, you are going to finally separate from this person. It's here, it's in the Death card, it's everywhere. Now, it's not going to be easy. It really isn't. I know that, because you've been hanging on to this for so long. You've really tried. I can see that. This is really strange, but I'll tell you what I'm seeing. When you finally say that's it to this person, you're not going to be cruel about it. You're not like that, but they are going to be upset. But the problem was they weren't listening to you, and I think they might have just been happy to go along with the way things were. And that shows me that they don't care about how you were feeling. As long as they were okay, everything was fine as far as they were concerned. So that's, you know, another red flag to me, obviously. And the strange thing is that, you know, I'm seeing you trying really, really hard, trying to talk to them, trying to fix things, trying to analyse what was wrong, all of that. But you weren't able to do that. You tried, you spoke to them. You know, it takes two people to fix things. You can't do everything by yourself. So this is what's strange. This is going to be a shock for them. Now, it shouldn't be a shock to them because you gave them so many chances and you told them over and over again. So, you know, if this is all resonating, it's not going to be easy for you either, of course. But I think it'll probably be a lot harder for them when the time finally comes. So yeah, I hate to end a reading like this because there's so much positivity here in this reading, but I just read as I see, and this is what I'm seeing. So yeah,